Or you don't have to work a 9 to 5 job if you don't want to, Like, I remember I've worked so many 9 to 5 jobs. Those of you who don't know me, I just left the UK. I moved to Dubai, right? And, when I was a young kid, I remember working in Burger King. Not young kid, I was like 18, 19. It was like my first job. I used to work in Burger King. I used to flip the Whoppers. I literally used to sit in the back and wrap the Whoppers. I would see the order come in on the screen. It would make that sound like, that sound when you're in like a Mackey's or something. And I used to sit there and I used to make the Whoppers and chuck them down the chute. And I used to work in the airport, Luton Airport. And, there were times during the day, the shift, I used to do the morning shift, so 4 a.m. till 12 p.m. Between like 4 and 6, it was so busy because people were getting ready for their flights, people were hungry, they were eating food. And then suddenly, like, the airport would go so empty. Yeah. And then I'd think, like, all these people are traveling, all these people are doing this kind of stuff. And I'm sure some are going back to their home country, some are traveling on holiday. But there are lots of people who get to travel when they want. Lots of people who can do these things. And I used to sit there and scratch my head, and I used to get really depressed when it would get quiet in the airport. Like, I would sit there and think, wow, my life is going to shit. Now, fast forward a few years later, I managed to be successful with one of my online businesses. And I want to tell you that if you work a 9 to 5 job now, you feel lost now, you want freedom, it's never been easier to do it. We are living in an era where, you can really 6 months of posting content, you can change your life. Like, a 9 to 5 job is not safe, and it's also depressing. Like, think about it. You have one life and you want to work every single day doing something you hate. I remember I had this job once. I'm not going to say what job it was. And I remember sitting there, and the supervisor came in one time and he said, basically, we've got a message from the boss, the CEO, we need to get rid of people, we need to sack people, business is not making money. And a lot of my colleagues were like old, like in their 40s, right? Not old, but 40s. They had kids, mortgage. And I remember sitting there thinking, like, these people are just going to come to work and then they're going to start getting rid of them, not caring that they have a kid, that they have a mortgage, they have families to feed. And and it was a cold, rainy day in the UK, and I used to think to myself, this is shit. I mean, this is depressing. Like, the thought of doing this my whole life, no thanks. And it wasn't so much the money that I wanted, it was the freedom. Because you don't need to be rich to have freedom. You just need to make your salary from your laptop, which is so much more possible than what you guys think. And, I'm going to get into how you guys can do it, but a 9 to 5 job, if you're watching me and you work a 9 to 5 job, you don't have to be depressed, bro. There are ways around. It all starts with you. And the best way to change your situation is to start posting content. Start posting content. 1 year of posting every day can absolutely change your life, even in 6 months. In 6 months of posting every day, you can have a completely different life at the end of it. Even if you don't know how you're going to monetize, how you're going to make money from your social media, it doesn't matter. The main key is to start posting. Maybe you record you going to the gym. Maybe you record your passions. Maybe you talk about something you enjoy. Maybe you talk about your life struggles. Whatever you talk about, there will be an audience for it. People will resonate with it. And a lot of people say, I don't want to get on camera. You're going to have to get outside your comfort zone, because if you're working a 9 to 5 job you don't enjoy, you're going to have to try something different if you want a different life. But the best way to change your scenario if you work a job is to just basically start posting content. It's the best way. For those of you who want to start, I've got a free business blueprint. It will explain to you how to make money from content, how to start posting, what to do. First link in the description, grab my free business blueprint. But yeah, like, I remember being in Burger King. I've worked Burger King Luton Airport. I had that job where I said the manager wanted to cut off all these people. And it's not even just the money that you don't get paid enough, yeah? It's not even the fact that you don't enjoy what you do. It's also the fact that you have to put up with people you hate. Like, the work environment is so toxic. Like, I remember I was on a diet and I wanted to lose weight. And I remember every day people at the workplace have no respect for their self. Eating donuts, Krispy Kreme donuts, in the cafeteria, chocolates, sweets, sugar. It was like these people needed consistent dopamine hits just to cover up the fact that they hated their existence so much. And then I remember the weekend would come. Sometimes we'd have these work group chats. And everybody was just like, yeah, what pub are you going to? What drinks are we doing? What are we sniffing tomorrow? I remember looking at these people thinking, like, this is not me, man. something didn't resonate me. I said, there's no way I'm living my life like this. So something had to change. Now I made my first money in e-commerce. I started a Shopify business. It done pretty well. But now I've tried every single business model, and the best way to make money online is through social media content creation, because you post content, people who like you will find you eventually through the algorithm. Later down the line, you can find out what their problems are in life, and you can create products and services to sell to them. As long as you post content and you build a following, eventually you have people that want to pay you because they like you. Because if you put your face to a camera, people will then buy your stuff, not even because they want your stuff, but because they resonate with your message. For example, a lot of you watching this might resonate with my message that, I don't believe in working a 9-to-5 job that you hate. I believe there's more to life than waking up every day in cold, gloomy England and doing something you cannot stand. Because you have one life and you're going to sit there and really do something you hate. Because once the time passes, that's it. Think about that for a second. Once the time passes, the time's gone. You're never getting that time back. That's why I got up and I just packed my bags and moved to Dubai. I'm 27 now. I'm in my late 20s. And I've just been hustling here in Dubai. I just took a massive risk. I left my family. I left my friends. I got up, moved everything to Dubai, and here I am. So yeah, if you guys want to start, if you hate your 9-to-5 job, get my free business blueprint, first link in the description. Make sure you start posting content. Like if you want to start posting content, for example, figure out what you know well, what you're good at. Because chances are you have a skill. There's something you're good at. There's something you know well that other people would resonate with. Like for example, me, I talk about how to make money online and how you can quit your 9-to-5 job and the problems with working a 9-to-5 you hate. Maybe you enjoy going to the gym. Record yourself going to the gym, post content about your meal plans, gain an audience that resonate with your personality. Eventually you'll be able to sell to them and you'll make enough to cover your ends, your bills or whatever. Like you don't even need to get to 10K a month. People think you need 10K a month, you don't. Let's say you're making 3K a month from a 9-to-5 job. It's very doable to make 3K a month from content. It's not that difficult. 6 months you can make in 4, 5, 6, consistently 6K. And the thing is you have the freedom. Because you're making that from your camera and your laptop, you can be anywhere in the world like I am. I'm in Dubai and I'm doing this. So choice is yours. You don't have to work a 9-to-5 if you don't want to, but change only starts with you. If you are not willing to put yourself on camera, if you're not willing to get out of your comfort zone, then nothing's going to happen until you eventually decide enough is enough. Like literally buy a tripod, put your iPhone on it, start recording like I am right now. That's the fastest way to freedom. That's the only way you're going to change your life. If you work a 9-to-5 job in 2026, you've got more than enough opportunities to make something happen for yourself. Don't be lazy, get to work. And I hope my message resonates with any of you right now who are stuck in a job and you don't enjoy it. Free business blueprint in the description below. And if you guys want me to talk about anything, let me know in the comment section below. And I'll see you lovely people. I love you all. Peace out, boys.